Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is day 8 of chapter 8a, and it's basically just a little more of the same stuff here, solving. Obviously, first we have to factor, then we solve. It could be difference of two squares, it could be trinomials, it could be greatest common factor, and what we got to figure out, and then factor, and make sure you move everything over. If everything's not equal to 0, it's got to be set equal to 0. Okay? All right, so let's get going here. First one, it's a trinomial. So we're going to put two parentheses there. Remember, it's got to be positive. In this case, they're both positive because if it's positive, it multiplies to give you positive, you've got to either both be positive or both negative. Okay, in this case, it's both positive, so it's plus plus, so it's m, and then what numbers give you 36? Well, there's several numbers, right? It can be 6 and 6. It can be 9 and 4. And so the deal is, once you get 13, obviously 6 and 6 doesn't work. 6 plus 6 is 12, but 9 plus 4 is 13. Once you're doing that, you don't need to keep going. So we're just going to do 9 and 4. Those are our two values. And then, of course, I set those equal to each other. So m plus 9 equals 0, m plus 4 equals 0. So m equals negative 9, and m equals negative 4. Okay, pretty easy. Okay, this one is a difference of two squares, so it's going to be y plus 4 and y minus 4 equals 0. So y plus 4 equals 0, y minus 4 equals 0. So I subtract 4, show my work here a little bit. So y equals negative 4, and I add 4. So y equals 4. Okay, not bad. Trinomial, so two sets of parentheses. It's negative, so it's got to be plus and minus because it's the only way it can get to be a negative number. And again, you think of possibilities for 12. You could do, and remember when it's negative now, we're subtracting. So 3 and 4. Well, 4 minus 3 is 1. That doesn't work. I need it to be a 4. Well, what about 6 and 2? Yeah, it works. 6 minus 2 is 4. So since this is negative, the 6 is negative and the 2 is positive. So we wind up getting w plus 2 equals 0 and w minus 6 equals 0. And so w equals negative 2 and w equals 6. Okay? Another trinomial. So y, and they're both positive. What multiplies give you 15? Well, 3 and 5, and that works out perfectly because 3 plus 5 is 8. So each one of those equals 0, so y plus 5 equals 0, and y plus 3 equals 0. So y equals negative 5 and y equals negative 3. All right, not bad. Another trinomial. So w, and it's plus and minus. And in this case here it is 8 and 3 because 8 minus 3 is 5. So the positive one is 8 and the negative one is 3. Okay. So we get w plus 8 equals 0 and w minus 3 equals 0. So w equals negative 8 and w equals 3. Okay, this one's greatest common factor. Going to factor out a 6x. So you get 6x times x minus 7. So 6x equals 0. So basically x is 0 here, and x minus 7 equals 0. So x is 7. So 7 and 0. Okay, the next one's a difference of two squares. So you get 2x, and then plus and minus, and then 9 and 9. Positive 9, negative 9, right? So you set each of those equal to 0. And you wind up getting x is negative 9 halves, and x is positive 9 halves. Okay, not bad. Next one's a trinomial. So y is negative, so it's plus and minus. 7 and 6, so 7 minus 6 is 1, which is what we want, and negative 1. So the 7 is negative, and the x, or the 1 is, or the 6 I should say, is positive. Because again, 6 minus 7 is negative 1. So we set each of those equal to 0. So y is negative 6 and y is 7. Okay? And this one, got to move that 54 over first. So you get x squared minus 3x minus 54 equals 0. Very important. So it's trinomial. We factor that. What gives you 54? 9 and 6 give you 54. And good enough. 9 minus 6 is 3. But of course, it's negative. So you have to put the 9 as negative and the 6 is positive. So x equals negative 6 and so x equals 9. Okay? Not bad. And then again, I'm going to add 14x to both sides. So you get x squared plus 14x plus 49 equals 0. So they're both positive. And the only thing that gives you 49 is 7 and 7. And 7 plus 7 is 14. So that works out well. So x plus 7 equals 0. So x equals negative 7. Okay, I got another one here too, but they both equal negative 7. Okay? So that's it, math fans. Just a little more practice, and hopefully this kind of helped out. You got, 10 problems to work on, and you should do well on the quiz if you knew how to do all these problems. All right? That's it. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.